Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me on. I don't know that there are any great secrets. I think that I just love people and I like who they are. I like how they operate in the world. And I love network marketing because it gives us an opportunity to interact with other like-minded people. And so for me, the entire process is a dance. And when I make it a dance, it's not a job and it's not laborious. And I don't have to wake up at 9 and I don't have to finish at 5. And I can do this when I want. I can do this the way I want. And so I learned last time many, many things because I made so many mistakes. And when I said yes to Kathy, who's the woman who introduced me to LifeWave, it took me 18 weeks to get to the top of the comp plan. So what I had learned in the past obviously translated into what's possible here. And I think by the end of this call, you all realize that there's nothing special about me. I'm just a single woman from South Florida who really loves people. So like many women, I like to talk. And sometimes I talk too much. And especially when I'm working with somebody who is a potential prospect. So what I have done over the years and what I continue to do is to work on upgrading myself, work on upgrading my dance steps, work on figuring out what's working, what isn't working. And remember, the market is always changing. So just because something worked a year ago or just because something worked 5 years ago, it doesn't mean it's going to work today. It doesn't mean it's going to work in a week. And for those of you, I'm a 54-year-old woman. I find that even in my journey of health, it's always changing. My female body is constantly changing. And if I used to eat this way when I was 20, it doesn't mean I can eat this way when I'm 54. So I'm always aware. I'm always fine-tuning my dance, my health dance, my dance with LifeWave or prospects that I might bring into the business, my dance in life. How do I get better? And so network marketing to me is a really great opportunity because it's a way for us to interact with each other while doing our regular life. So it doesn't have to take over everything you have in your life, whether that's a husband or a boyfriend or kids or a job or a dog or whatever's going on in your world. We all have stuff happening and we all tend to get busy. And so what I've learned is that the first thing that I worked on was my attitude. And what I realized is that this is not a sprint, this is a marathon. And so I'm not expecting my results to show up next week. I'm expecting them to show up month 1. I'm expecting them to show up month 2. I'm expecting them to show up month 3. And I'm looking for them to compound every month. So I have realistic expectations of myself and I have realistic expectations of the business. Now for me, I call myself, I think I'm a disciplined person, but I'm not structured. And what that means is I will drink a certain amount of water every day, or I will exercise for a certain period of time every day, or I will, whatever the things are that I have going on in my life. I'm disciplined in my daily activities, but I'm not structured that every day at 6 a.m. I must drink a bottle of water, or every day at 7:30 I'm going to walk 6 miles. I allow myself that space. Now that's what works for me. And one of the things I've learned in life is that you want to learn what works for you. And so you're figuring out who you are and how can I magnify that to be an even greater success. So the next thing that works for me is I like to work on my business a little bit every day. And I think consistency is the key to winning a marathon. I don't believe you can go out, and I don't even know how many miles a marathon is, I've never run one, and go out and run whatever it is, 20 miles in the first week that you decide that you want to run a marathon. Most people who are going to run a marathon, I suspect, spend weeks studying, training, eating properly, working on sprints and how long they're going to run and where they're going to run. And, is it altitude? Are they going to run the Boston Marathon? Are they going to run the Hawaiian triathlon or whatever it's going to be? And so they're dealing with the environment. With network marketing, for me, with LifeWave, my goal is to interact with 3 people a day, to follow up, and then invite one a day to the daily Zoom. And for me, that works. I can have my normal life, everything that normally goes on in my world, and I can be a success in this business because I can contact 3 people a day, follow up, and invite one a day to the Zoom. Does that mean that every day I'm a success? Nope. The truth is I'm not. Doesn't mean that I don't do the action, but it means every day I may not get a yes out of somebody. Some days I might get 2 yeses. Some days I might get no yeses. But what I'm consistent on is that I'm interacting with people, new people, 3 people a day, plus I'm following up. Now, in network marketing, what I have learned is that less is more. And so for me, what that means is that I need to learn to talk less and listen more. And that's hard. It's really, really hard, especially when you have a product like the X39. Because the only thing I want to do is tell everybody, I mean, look at my hair. I'm like Rapunzel now. Look at all the changes I've had in my life. I've got so much to tell you. And I have to keep my mouth closed. Because if I throw up on them with my excitement, they turn around and they run the other way. And my goal, because I'm dancing, I don't want to be chasing them. I want to have them turn around and be coming towards me. So this is what I practice. And it's a game. And it shifts and it moves. And there is no right way or wrong way. I always say, I don't want you to become me. And I don't want you to become Marcy. And I don't want you to become Susan. I want you to become the best you that you can be. Because people join this business because of who you are. They join because they like what you're about. They like how you interact, and they're excited about what you've shared with them about the product or the opportunity. So let's go back to that. There's a huge difference in somebody that's looking for a product versus somebody that's looking for an opportunity. So when I'm interacting with people, I'm always in the radio station, what's in it for them? And that's really hard. So let's say that I'm approaching, one of my girlfriends, and I say to Sally Sue, oh my gosh, I found this amazing opportunity where you can make residual income, you can earn all of this money, blah, 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 blah. Except Sally Sue is busy in her own health crisis, and she's been trying to discover a way that she could sleep better at night. So if I've approached Sally with the ability to have a business that's going to pay a residual income, I've missed Sally completely. I've missed Sally's radio station. And so that's why I say you need to spend time. I'm encouraging you to spend time actually listening to what's in it for them, as opposed to throwing up on them about the things that you think they want to know. So the neat thing about LifeWave is you can frame this in any way for anybody, no matter what they want. I mean, the truth is we've been in a very tumultuous time for the last, let's say, 9 months, and people are looking for a way to connect. People are looking for a community of like-minded people. People are looking for a way to feel good in the world. Well, that has nothing to do with a health challenge or a health crisis or a health issue that they want to work on. It has nothing to do with a financial challenge. It's a totally different thing. So if you're not listening to what's in it for them, you're going to miss the opportunity. Now, the other thing I will tell you is that I believe that time and circumstances changes everything for everybody. So what does that mean? That means that not everybody says yes the very first time that you interact with them. Some people need to percolate. Some people, they're busy, their husband just screamed at them this morning and they're all caught up in whatever's going on, and you did a really good job listening, and you heard their radio station and you presented in a short way on their radio station, but the timing wasn't right for them. So that's why I always say time and circumstances changes everything for everybody. So when somebody says no to me, that's not no never, that's no not right now. So what does that mean? That means that I will come back to them in another 6 weeks. So typically in network marketing, what I like to call is you drip on people. It doesn't, very few people will hear you the very first time you hit their radio station exactly correct. You presented with the exact amount of information. You did not overwhelm them. And they said, I'm in. It doesn't happen all the time. It does happen, but we all have our own barometer that we move from a no to a maybe to a yes. And so I want you all to think about this, because we do this in our own lives. And so when my children were younger, they would come home and they would say, Mom, I want to go to the movies. And the first thing I would say is no. And then I would think for a minute, okay, wait a minute. All right, who are you going to the movies with? What movie are you going to? So now I'm moving myself into a maybe. All right, who's driving? Am I expected to pick you up? Are the other parents going to pick you up? Okay, now I'm moving myself closer to a yes. Okay, now they've answered all of these questions for me. Now I've gone from a no to a maybe to a yes. And I look at my daughter and I say, okay, you can go see Finding Nemo. And I let her go to the movie. All right. So some people will go from a no to a maybe to a yes in 10 minutes. Other people will go from a no to a maybe to a yes in 2 weeks. Other people will go from a no to a maybe to a yes in 6 weeks. So one of the hardest things is allowing your contacts to move at their speed. So for instance, when Kathy called me about LifeWave, I was sitting in Santorini with my 22-year-old daughter. And she's blah, 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 blah. And you must know what photobiomodulation is, Onyx. And I said, actually, I do. She said, I knew it. That's why I called you. And she starts telling me all about it. And she's like, you know, they want me to build. What do you want to do? And I said, Kathy, I'm sitting in Santorini right now. I'm not going to do anything, but I'll call you in a couple of days when I get back. And that's a classic example of she heard my radio station. She tuned in. She delivered in an appropriate way. She delivered in a way that I could hear, but the timing was off for me. So it wasn't a no. Kathy didn't shrivel up and say, oh my God, Onyx said no to me. It's over. That's not what she did. She said, oh, okay, it's a no, not right now. So, and for me, when I came back from Santorini, I got on the phone. I talked to them. I listened to everything they had to say. I told the men, gentlemen, I like everything I hear. Please send me everything you have. They sent me a whole bunch of stuff that night. And I called Kathy the next morning and said, are you in? Now that's my speed from a yes to a maybe to a no. But I bet each one of you can think about it for yourselves. Some of you went like this in 10 minutes. Some of you went like this in a week. Some of you went like this in a month. So each one of us is different, and it's okay. Whatever speed your prospects move, just allow them to move at their speed.
Now I have a question about that, if I may.
Go ahead. Absolutely.
So Marcy's term is there are some people who are like locomotives, and I guess I would be in that category, where, you know, they just get so excited and then they jump into it and, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I'm wondering, Onyx, in the description of the drip method, and some people take a little time, do you find that there's any correlation between how fast people respond and how enthusiastic they are at the beginning with their results later down the road?
No, I think that there are so many variables that go into everything. I'm a racehorse too, and I will jump into things faster than I should, probably many times. But I measure what's going to happen. What am I putting at risk? Is this a problem? Blah, 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 blah. You know, is there a risk for my kid going to a movie at 6 o'clock where such and such is picking her up and such is bringing her home? Risk is very small. Okay, you can do that. So what I find is belief is built in a different period of time too. So you've got to get radio station correct. You're also looking for the way that you language. So sometimes, and I've done a training before on it, it's called DISC, D-I-S-C. And it's basically 4 personality types. And some people are bottom line. They're just, give me the bottom line, give it to me in 3 words. I do not want to hear a whole story. Other people are all about friends. Are we going to have a party? Is this going to be fun? Are we going to get to interact with each other? Other people are very compliant. And, you know, is this legal? Am I going to get in trouble? Are we going to get arrested? Other people are very steady. You know, are you going to show up every time that I need you? Will you be there? Will this company still be here? Are they blah, blah, blah. Okay. So that's getting them in. Now, once they've said yes, you've got a whole nother chart for them to go through. And that's building belief. And that belief is in themselves and in you. Because when you sponsor somebody, you go to work for them. So I always say, don't sponsor somebody that you don't want to take their phone calls. And I know it sounds crazy, but there's some people out there that drive us bonkers. And if that's one of those people that drive you bonkers, I don't care how bad they need X39. For me, I'm not inviting them into my business because I know if I sponsor you, I go to work for you. So I want us, for me, I like to sponsor people who have good languaging. That doesn't mean they speak good English. That means that they are positive, that they're upbeat, that they want to make a difference in the world. And I like to sponsor people who have a work ethic. So those are some of the things that I like. There's lots and lots and lots of other things, but it's just what is going to work well, because there's a symbiotic aspect of building a network marketing organization. So you're letting them be who they are, move at their speed when you're trying to enroll them. Once you've brought them into enrollment, whether that's as a customer or distributor, you're still letting them move at their speed. And that's what's really hard, because you're looking at them and you're going to be like, you're going to be huge in this business. Come on, let's go. And they're like, I need to put the X39 on my husband. I need to let my husband tell me whether or not this is a good product or not. And you're like, ah! Because they're not moving at the speed that you would like them to move at. So it's very hard to allow other people to move at their pace. But guess what? If you want them to be a success, you have to allow that. You have to allow that in the prospecting, and then you have to allow that in the belief. So belief is built in different ways by different people. Same thing. We've got all these different spokes that go into it. So some people build belief by having great videos to look at. Other people build belief by testimonials. Other people's testimonials. Some people build belief by personal testimonials. Some people build belief because they see other people are making money. Everybody is different. Some people build belief because they join the community and like, oh my gosh, this is an amazing group of people. Why wouldn't I want to be here? So everybody builds belief in a different way. And in order for them to be brave enough to go out and interact with other people, whether that's their contacts, whether that's strangers, whether that's other prospects, in order for them to be brave enough, their belief system has to be built. And so that takes a different period of time for different people. So that's why I say, don't go out and sponsor one person. If you only sponsor one person, you're not going to have anybody to run with. So for me, because I'm a racehorse, right? So for me, what I like to do is go out and sponsor. And how do I do that? It doesn't mean that I think I'm in a sprint. It means that I think that I'm in a marathon, which means the way that I do it is 3 people a day, introducing it to 3 people a day, following up and inviting one to the Zoom. And I do that every single day. And what that does over time is it produces a group of people that say yes to me, either as distributors or as customers. Either way is fine with me. But I continue to sponsor. One of the things I learned last time, and I was in the business for 7 years, and at the end, I had earned a $300,000 bonus check. That doesn't count all of the money that I was earning every week. And at the end of 7 years in, guess what I'm still doing? Sponsoring. So I never stop sponsoring. To build a successful network marketing business, I believe you always stay in sponsorship mode. You never go into management mode. Add new people to the business, add new people, add new people. And part of it is what you do, your team will do. So if you go into management mode and you stop inviting new people into your business, guess what's going to happen with your team? They're going to go into management mode and they're going to stop inviting new people into your business. And you always want to be growing your business. I love what Anthony Robbins says. If your business is growing, it's because of you. And if your business is dying, It's because of you. So I'm always looking in the mirror. What's happening with my business? Is it growing or is it dying? What do I need to be doing differently? It's not what do I need to encourage my people to do differently? What do I need to do differently with myself? Because I'm always looking in the mirror. What can I do different? What can I do better? What can I blah, blah, blah. Now, when I get people started in the business, I like to set everybody up to win. Are you okay with me just talking like this? Or you're okay? Okay. You're muted. Can't hear you.
And
sorry.
I'm loving every minute of it. One thing that I want you to address at some point is what you say to those 3 people a day. And obviously it depends based on the DISC method. I actually teach something similar called Herman Brain Dominance. So it is 4 different kinds of people with 4 listenings. So just give us a couple of examples so that everyone can take that away. But please
Awesome.
continue.
Okay. So in terms to answer that question, make sure that I do it. I don't have an elevator speech. The number of times people have said to me, do you have an elevator speech? No, I don't. Because everything that I do is tailored to the particular person that I'm interacting with. So the 2 things that I love to do with people who I do not know is I love to give compliments and I love to make them laugh. And I find both of those actions allow people to drop basically their heart shield, their heart guard. And then they open up and they're willing to interact. They're willing to connect with you. And so I love to, make compliments. You might see a waitress and you might say, oh my gosh, you're incredible. You do such a good job. You would be really good in my business. Now that might be all I say. If she doesn't ask anything else, I don't say anything else. Now at the end, when I pay the bill, I might leave my business card, but I won't spend any more time trying to run her over with my business. I'm trying to get people to run me over. And so the way you get people to run you over is to speak less. I listen to the questions that they're asking. I answer only that question and I turn the conversation back onto them. So often in network marketing, somebody asks us a question. Well, how is it that light is working in this little bitty Band-Aid? Okay. And you all, not you all, but many people in network marketing take that as, this is it, pounce. Okay. And you want to tell them everything you know about X39 and everything you know about LifeWave and everything about how fantastic Marcy is and she is and all that there is. And they look at you and they're like, oh my gosh, how quick can I run? And so instead, when they ask a question like that, I give them a very short answer. This is so powerful when I finally figured out this part of the dance. I give them a very short answer. And when I give them that short answer, I turn the conversation back onto them because people love to talk about themselves. So they will yap, 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 yap. And what am I doing? I'm listening because I'm trying to find that radio station. After a minute or 2, they're going to realize that they've been talking all about themselves and they're probably going to ask you a second question. So now, this is my chance to pounce, right, Onyx? No, this is not your chance to pounce. They ask you that second question. What I suggest you do is listen, answer it as short, as succinct as possible, flip the conversation again, push it back over. You do this 3, 4, or 5 times, guess what's happening? They're now coming towards you about your opportunity. You're not running them over because you saw an opportunity to pounce. This is a huge shift in the dance. And when you all master this, your business will change. Your business will change. Now, here's the other thing I will tell you. I'm not attached at all to whether or not they say yes or no. So my goal is simply to interact with 3 people a day, follow up, and invite 1 a day to a Zoom. Did you hear me say 3 people a day must say yes to me? Did you hear me say the 3 follow-ups a day must say yes to me? No. All I'm doing is looking for the green jelly bean, looking for the green jelly bean, looking for the green jelly bean. And my job, quote unquote, is simply to interact with 3 people. It's not to get a yes. It's not to get a no. Now, I will tell you, I firmly believe in life as in network marketing. If you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. So if you all are torturing yourself and, oh my gosh, it needs to be this, and I did a terrible job and I spoke too much. Oh my gosh, you're not doing it right. You won't stay in this business very long because it's not pleasure. It's not about a yes or a no. It's about the consistent daily activities. 3 people a day following up, inviting one to a Zoom. 3 people a day following up, inviting one to a Zoom. And every day I'm looking in the mirror and I'm working on my dance. What could I do better? And it's fun, you guys. This dance becomes really fun. It's like dancing at a nightclub or dancing in a ballroom. It becomes really, really fun because you get very good at it. Now, sometimes I'll talk about, when I'm interacting with somebody, I will talk about the size of the CBD market versus the size of the stem cell market. Sometimes I'll talk about residual income because
I'd love to hear that. I'm sure everybody would. So we'd love to hear some opening sentences, you know, that would be very helpful to people.
So sometimes I'll send a text, for instance, and I will say, you know, things that make you go, the CBD market today is I think it's $312 million market. It's expected to explode in the next 3 years to be 22 billion. Stem cells today is a $200 million a year market, and it's expected to explode in the next 3 years to 300 billion. I found a way to activate your body's own stem cells naturally, no injections, affordably. Interested? Question mark. Did you hear me say the company? Did you hear me say the name of the product? Did you hear me say you gotta join me? Did you hear me say network marketing? Did you hear me? No. This would just be, again, a drip. It's a shot in the dark. Sometimes I'll start a text with, hey, this is a shot in the dark. I found something that's really interesting. Are you looking? And you got to be willing to take the no's. It's timing for everyone. Or I've been sleeping amazing these days. How are you sleeping? Or, oh my gosh, they've renamed me Rapunzel. I cannot believe how much hair I've grown. At 54 years old, I have so much new hair growth. Did you know that 50% of the women out there are dropping hair? Where are you at? And so I'm not attached to their yes or their no. Okay. And so when you can detach yourself from their answer, your pleasure is going to grow dramatically. You're going to have a lot more fun because then it's just the dance. You're just dancing.
And is there something that you might add now, because we know because of COVID and everything going on, there are people who not only they have health issues, but they really have a financial need. So is there a sentence or a drip that works for that?
So first of all, I never, ever, 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 ever talk about viruses that are going on. I don't think it's relevant. And for me, again, it's about the radio station. So let's say I'm, dripping on somebody's shot in the dark, and I haven't had a chance to hear the radio station. This is just a contact that I know. So I don't know what they're looking for. Okay. So yes, you could say, hey, I found something that is in an industry that's exploding that offers residual income.
Right.
So I like to leave things a little bit elusive, because what's my goal? I want them to ask me a question. If I write a message or an email or I call and I give them everything they need to know, they have no reason to ask me a question. So now I don't know whether I've got a fish on the hook or not. If I leave it a little bit elusive enough to pique their interest, then they can come back. I also love using the videos. I love using the testimonial videos. I think that's great. And I'll send that to somebody saying, hey, I just saw this and I thought of you. Something simple like that. Absolutely fantastic.
Thank you. That is so simple that it's not simple at all. So
well, it's simple.
Really,
it's
really
just,
helpful.
It requires a fine tuning. And if you cut yourself a break and say, I'm not going to do 20 people today, I'm going to do 3. I'm going to have 3 dances today. And I can do this in between dropping the kids at school. I can do this in between, you know, doing the laundry or whatever's going on in your life. It doesn't matter what it is, going to the gym, going for a walk, whatever you're doing, you can do 3 people a day, and you're working on your dance.
And maybe I can give an example.
Good, I'd love you to jump
of, you know, I was just listening to Onyx and what she does, and I realized I do that in my everyday life. So maybe I can give an example of a dance that I just did. Actually, 2 dances, if it's okay.
Yes,
3,
please.
actually. So the first dance is the dance of belief. And Onyx knows when I met her 14 months ago, I didn't have belief anymore in myself, right? I'm recovering from stage 3 breast cancer. I was a very sick girl. My colon wasn't working. I mean, it's embarrassing to say, but I could not poop and peep after chemo. Like, how horrible is that? So I was a sick girl. My girlfriend, Dr. Rhonda Donahue, gifted me the stem cell activation patches. They look like a Band-Aid. I had no idea what they were. And she said, try them. And I put them on 12 hours on behind the back of my neck. They look like this. And 12 hours off to, to repair. And the patch, okay, you ready for this? The patch did the work. In 2 days, first 2 days, the taste of the metal chemo came out of my mouth. Day 5, I mean, I don't know about you, but my forehead is so soft. It's softer than it was when I was 14 years old. Feel your forehead. If you guys have been on this for a year, it's soft, okay? And then on day 10, all the anxiety of reoccurrence of breast cancer went away. And now it's been a year. And guess what? I only have maybe an attack every maybe 3 months. And instead of lasting like 6 months, it lasts like literally 4 days. Like, I have belief, right? That's my belief now. And so I don't know if Albert and Eva are on this call, but I decided to play again because I feel so good again, right? And so what did I start doing? I'm taking golf lessons from Albert in LA, and I drive up to take lessons. Well, what do I have with me when I take my lessons? I have my patches. It wasn't there because I thought I was going to sell Albert my patches. I just carry them everywhere. And as I'm taking my golf lessons, I don't know, golf lesson 1, golf lesson 2, golf lesson 3, he says that he has this problem right here and it hurts so bad and he can't even sleep at night. So what did I do? I said, I got something for you. And I stuck one of these on him. And I said, just see what happens. And then I gave him a little sample. And I did nothing else. I didn't try to sell him. I didn't go blah, blah, blah. And the next week I took my next lesson. And then he goes, Marcy, that thing's working. My elbow doesn't hurt anymore. What's this all about? And I said, well, I'm a network marketer and I have about 7,000 people in my business, but no big deal. I just wanted to help you. So I just touched a minute that there is a business because, like Onyx says, I was listening to what he's all about and he loves business. He's an entrepreneur. And so, it's so cute. And so now he got the pack, he's wearing it. And last lesson, his girlfriend, Eva, comes and she does like face and makeup and eyelashes. And she's like, I love these. I love these darn things. And so now she's sending me her clients and they're using it. So it's just the dance because it's fun. And I will tell you, Onyx Coale picked me up, 14 months ago? I picked her up at the airport. I was afraid to dance at that time. I was afraid. And she drove with me for a week and said, let's call you. I did mail out patches to people, but I was afraid to call them. I had belief in the product at that time, but I didn't have belief in myself. And that's why you need your upline or your sponsor or your person that has your hand with you. And she called Sean with me. She called Mariah with me. She called the girls, and all of a sudden, slowly, I realized I could have belief in myself again. And I don't know how any of you guys feel, but this is really truth. And then the last thing that happened, I started this a year ago, and I shared it with my girlfriend. I'm going to just call her Betty. And she's she's like, Stents, I'm not interested, you know, one of those. And it's like, no, not never, just no, not now. Literally, it's a year later. I didn't even think she would be interested. We're friends. I'm just talking to her about other things. And I happened to tell her how the residual income was going because I was excited to have some financial stability for the first time in a long time, right? You have to realize the medical bills of chemo, like, were devastating, right? And so she's like, you're doing what? That kind of residual income? I need to know now, a year later. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that I think I am doing the dance that Onyx talks about. Anyway.
You
And you're
are,
having
because
fun.
I heard your dance. So you definitely dance with me whenever we speak.
Yeah. So
Yes,
anyway,
Onyx,
thank you.
yeah.
You're doing it and you're having fun, Marcy.
I just love my life now. I'm having so much fun. I feel good again. Oh my goodness. Like, hello, financial safety. Hello. And now I can play again. I mean, I know with the mask and outside, I mean, golf is good. And so, yeah, I mean, we can all have this again, I realized. So.
Yeah, isn't it neat? And then you get this great community of people to be together with.
Yeah.
And that's, for me, that's my favorite part. I mean, the residual income's great, and being able to bless people with this gift of the X39 is great, but this community of people, to me, it doesn't get any better. You can't find a community of people like this. I haven't been able to find one. So it's really neat to see who your friends know, because that's one of the fun things about network marketing is you don't know who your friends know. So you invite Sally Sue, but Sally Sue happens to know Marcy, and Sally Sue invites Marcy into the business, and then you make a whole new friend, and Marcy builds a big business, and then Marcy invites Peter, and then Peter makes a big business, and you make another new friend, and on it grows and it grows and it grows. And it's a beautiful business model. It was a model that I was always afraid of. I ran from it my whole life. I don't know why. I was just afraid of something I knew nothing about. And it's funny, now that I'm, on the other side looking back, it's like, I don't know why I was taking financial advice from people who weren't paying my mortgage. Why was I willing to listen to somebody else tell me that network marketing is no good? Okay, well, I went to college, okay, blah, 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 but you're not paying my mortgage. And how do you know it's not good? Because what I've seen personally is that how network marketing can change your life. And I believe the numbers are there's more women in network marketing who earn $100,000 a year than any other marketplace. And so to me, I love what the Dalai Lama said in 2009. And the Dalai Lama said that the Western woman would change the world. And I think he's right. But I think in order for that to happen, we have to put money into the hands of the Western women, because Western women spend money different than the Western men. So for me, one of the best places to do that is network marketing. Network marketing is an ability for us to be able to collaborate, and women love to collaborate. We love to do things together. And so network marketing offers you that opportunity.
And one of the rare things about LifeWave is not only that we're in 100 countries, because I've been a direct marketing company. And as you guys know, I was the #1 distributor with my former husband, but we were not allowed to be involved in anything in any other country. And I spent my previous career in fashion traveling all over the world. In LifeWave, I already have people in England, and I believe that Roz is on the phone. She's the one who's creating that, which is wonderful. I have 2 people in Mexico. I have a family that's in America that is now also, some of them are in Canada, so we've started that. So here we are. I'm sitting in Santa Barbara and building a business which costs basically $24.95 to start the business, because everything else you spend is for your own product or product you're giving away or product you're selling. So the net cost is under $25. And I now have a business that's in 4 countries. And LifeWave is astounding for that reason.
And Susan, maybe we could have Onyx, because I know it's 1:45, but I would love for her to just tell people how the technology works and how they can get it. Would that be okay, Susan? Okay.
So this is a little patch that's made with organic crystals, and it's a photobiomodulation patch. Now, photobiomodulation is a big word for light therapy. It's interesting because before I was introduced to LifeWave, I had already studied with a doctor named Dr. Jack Cruz, and I had learned about light, water, and magnetism. And so I knew what photobiomodulation was. In fact, I have a red light bed. Now, the way it works is that the skin in the body responds to different light frequencies. And so when we go and we stand outside in the sun, the sun hits our skin and it activates the photoreceptors within the skin, and it tells the skin to make vitamin D. It's exactly the same with X39. The difference is it's sending a light frequency to the skin that's telling the body to activate GHK copper peptide. Now, when I started, I did not know what GHK copper peptide was. So if you don't know what that is, you're in good company. But what I would encourage you to do is to write it down and to Google it. And you will find it is the holy grail to anti-aging. What it will do is it resets 3,000 to 4,000 of your genes to a younger, more youthful state, and it will activate your body's own natural stem cells. So one of the things that's so fascinating about this product is that it's very individualized. So what does that mean? Some people are going to find that they're going to sleep better immediately. Some people are going to find the immediate pain reduction. Some people are going to find their hair is going to grow. Some people are going to find their age spots are going to diminish. Some people are going to find that they are more relaxed, that the anxiety goes away. Some people, my daughter, her eyelashes have grown. She's like, Mom, look at my eyelashes. I'm like, Sarah, what are you doing? Look at my eyelashes, Mom. So we're all different because the computers in our body, when you activate your own GHK, the computers in your body are going to tell your body what it wants it to work on. So each one of us will respond to the product in a different way. So when you come into the business, you can come into the business as a customer. And a customer is somebody who wants to use the product for themselves and doesn't necessarily want to share it with other people or distribute it to other people. Or you can come in as a distributor. Now you can come in on one sleeve. A sleeve is 30 patches or a 30-day supply of X39. You can come in on one sleeve, 3 sleeves, 5 sleeves, 11 sleeves, or 19 sleeves. Now, some people say, why would I come in on a bigger amount of sleeves? It's only, I need a 30-day supply for me. That's great. No problem. Some people kind of say, I want to come in on 3 sleeves. I've got myself, I've got my husband, and I have my daughter. Okay, great. Come in on 3 sleeves. That's fine. Other people say, oh my gosh, I see this business. I want to actually join and build a big business. So I talk about building a LifeWave business a lot like starting a shoe store. And if we're going to open up a shoe store, we're going to go out, we're going to find a place that we're going to have as the shoe store, and we're going to get signs, or we're going to get racks. And can we open the shoe store without shoes on the racks? No. It's the same thing as your LifeWave business. You're going to need to have product to sell, and you're going to need to have product to share. So I tell everybody, don't join at something you cannot afford. So never overspend. But if you see the business opportunity and you can afford to come in at the 19 sleeves, I say come in at the 19 sleeves. 19 sleeves is $15.99 plus taxes and shipping. That varies according to where you live. That includes the points for 3 months worth of auto ship. And then it has a few other advantages. If 19 sleeves isn't right for you, come in as a bronze or a silver. Bronze, it would be 1 sleeve at $99 plus the $24.99 that Susan was just talking about. Or if you come in at silver, which is 3 sleeves, they get rid of that $24 and you can come in for $299. So the choice is totally yours. Whether you come in as silver or a diamond, you can come in as a silver and you can upgrade to diamond. You're not disadvantaged at all. So please don't overspend. If you want to join the business, join in a way that you can afford financially. So hopefully that answers the question, Marcy.
Thank you. It sure does.
Cool.
Beautiful. So is there anything, Marcy, that you think that we really need to know today for people who maybe haven't listened to any of our other Zoom events or any of your other Zoom events? Is there something that you want to add?
Well, I think the most important piece is that the reason there's even a business here is because the X39 stem cell activation patch works. And I've been on it long enough to realize it's been 14 months now. And when you activate your own stem cells, make more of them, and reset them to a younger, healthier state, you basically are like putting new stem cells on old tissue, and you're turning that tissue young again. And this is truth. Like, we are not anti-aging, we're age reversing. And I know there's a many people on this call where we started this because we had a physical issue, a mental issue, emotional issue, or a spiritual issue. Okay, that's why we started it. And those pluripotent stem cells, that army started to march again and turn into whatever cell your body needs for repair. And I don't know what your body needs first. It may be your liver. It may be your colon. You may not even feel that yet. But I do know that as the army starts marching again, it's an accumulative effect. And we just keep getting better day after day, month after month after month. And here's the crazy thing. Do you know what the side effect of the X39 patch is, Susan? It does have a side effect. The side effect is we all are about 10 years younger. We look 10 years younger. And I am not kidding you. Who doesn't want that? Okay? And that is what it is. And that is why we have a business, because we're really doing the right thing to help humanity right now.
And you know, when you mention all the different potential benefits, I want everybody to know that I have received all of those benefits. Every aspect of my body and my brain is functioning better than 10 years ago when I was 61, much better.
Mm-hmm.
And it's remarkable to me. It is remarkable. And I've been using them every single day since July 1st, actually July 2nd. Carol Lazar gave me the patch to try on July 1st, put it on the next morning. And so I know now 104 people who are having the same kind of results. It may be slower, it's steady. It may not be all those areas yet. They may not have been using them, you know, half as long as I have. And it is remarkable. It is remarkable. So, Onyx, would you like to end with something? And then after you're finished, I'll just close out and say goodbye.
So I think that if you're like me and you've heard other people have yucky things to say about network marketing, I would tell you that this is different. This community is different. This product is different. This environment is different. We haven't spent even 1 second on this call talking about David Schmidt, who is the CEO. He is the founder. He is the inventor. He's brilliant, and he's a really neat guy. He's got 1 foot in the scientific world and 1 foot in the spiritual world. And so I would say, if you're not in, give it a try. You know, give it a 90-day try. Give yourself a 90-day try on the product. Give this community a 90-day try. I think you're going to be blown away. I wouldn't trade this for the world. I feel very blessed to be here. I'm telling you, when I met Marcy 14, 15 months ago at LAX, she didn't look like anything like she looks right now. She's got so much hair now. It's incredible. Her skin is completely different. Her attitude is completely different. Her vibrance, her light. She was a beautiful woman, don't get me wrong, but she's a totally different woman now. And so when we were doing presentations, one of the things that I would ask is, you know, who's sleeping better, and people would stand up, and who's had you know, a reduction in pain, and people would stand up, and then I would say, who's feeling happy, and all the women would stand up and say, pick me. And so I used to jokingly say, can you imagine a world where all the women are happy? Won't all the men be happy too? So there's not a person out there that doesn't need to have an opportunity to experience the X39. Doesn't mean they're going to want it, because remember, they still got to want it. But the first person you got to take care of is yourself. Give yourself a 90-day try. You're worth it. You're worth it.